Oh, okay. I was like, what am I saying?
What the fuck we were just talking about it. Welcome to What the Fuck Were We Talking About?
The podcast where two best friends in their 50s forget what the fuck they were talking about. So I see that you are wearing a hat again today. That's 2 podcasts in a row with wearing a hat, and I love who you're supporting.
Yes, Sailing with Phoenix. Look them up. I have the hat on for 2 reasons.
Okay.
One is it controls the light glare in my glasses. It's been annoying.
Yeah.
It's a little annoying with the light glare. The other reason is this pulls on my hair. It's annoying.
You're very precious.
I don't like the hair pull. I don't have a lot of hair left to spare, you know.
Right.
I went out to breakfast this morning, to brunch with Chris. So I didn't have the hat on, but for the podcast I had to put it on. I did want to tell you that we went to one of your favorite places here in Red Bank, Middletown, Barrel and Roost. And I had a moment. It was delicious.
Always.
I mean, it's
Is it ever not
amazing.
delicious?
No.
Yeah.
And I went in with the idea that I was going to get a frittata. This story made me realize I am so much like your mother, it's ridiculous. Your mother I've always referred to as LP, Little Phil. Yep. So I always call her LP. And so I go in, I'm going to have the frittata. And then I look at the menu and I was like, damn, that French toast looks good. There was a waffle on there, a burger, chicken and an egg, and it's just all deliciousness. And he says, so what are you going to get? I said, I'm getting the frittata. I'm going to be good and get the frittata. And he's like, okay. So I'm like, what are you getting? And he's like, I'm going to get the chicken. And I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't get the frittata because I want your pork roll. Another table's food comes out. They got pizza. Chris is like, oh, they have pizza? I said, I think I might get the pizza. So the waitress comes over and to take our order. Chris orders the burger. And she turns to me and she says, what would you like? And I said, I'll have the French toast. And it reminded me of your mom because when you would go out to anything with your mom, she would ask everybody at the table, what are you having, Ryan? I'm having chicken cutlets. Bobby, what are you having? I'm going to have sausage, peppers, and onions. And she's like, oh, I think I'll get that. That sounds delicious. So then she would turn to me and she would say, look, Kara, what are you having? I'd be like, you know what? I think I'm going to have the tuna melt. That sounds delicious. I'm getting that. The waiter comes over. What are you having? Everybody says what they're having. They get to LP. I'm going to have the pork chops. And I'm like, pork chops? Where the hell did pork chops come from?
See them on the menu.
Do they even have pork chops? So
Every
our food now comes, and they put down Chris's burger and they put down my plate, and Chris does like this. He's like, I thought you were getting pizza. He just wasn't paying attention. I was like, yeah, no, I changed my mind the last minute. I'm like LP.
So another thing that LP often did when she lived with us a couple times, Hugo would go to make breakfast and he would say, Phyllis, I'm going to make myself an omelet. Would you like one? No, I already ate. Hugo would make his omelet. Are you sure, Phyllis? You don't know? I'm good. He'd finish making the omelet. He'd get himself a cup of coffee. He would sit down at the table. That looks really good. Here you go, Phyllis. I'll go make another omelet.
So what'd you do this weekend?
I had a good weekend. Went to dinner last night. New Asian fusion place in the neighborhood. Watched a movie. My Oxford year. Okay, it's sad. I did not know it was sad. Was not prepared for that. And then for fun, I put my back out. I had a very big decision to make before the podcast, which was, do I unplug my wine refrigerator to plug my heating pad in? And I did.
You did?
I did. Listen.
You're sacrificing
I have no choice. I had to sacrifice it. I don't think I could sit all day working. So I'm lucky because I can work from home and I don't have to worry about getting up tomorrow and hobbling to an office, which is ironic that all this happened because our topic this week is return to office or RTO. We thought we would discuss it because it affects Karen, but it doesn't affect me. And we can kind of get into how things are a little bit different for the both of us. My question for you is, how do you feel about RTO?
I like going in the office. So to me, it doesn't really bother me too much. There are going to become times, though, I'm sure it's going to bother me. I do understand going back in the office, and I do like being back in the office. The 5 days now, I thought was too much. I saw the difference between having those few days to work from home and not. I actually looked up the pros and cons of working from home versus the pros and cons to returning to the office. And I found some of it kind of interesting. And I'm curious if you agree or disagree. For the advantages of working from home, the first thing that came up was time efficient, meaning the commute time. The second thing was cost saving on gas and tolls and parking and transit and lunches that you
Wear and
normally
tear on
wouldn't.
your car.
Wear and tear on your car is a great one because you don't think of
Yeah,
that as a cost,
that's right.
but it's a
It
cost.
is.
Another advantage of working from home is productivity. You get more done working from home. I agree and disagree with that.
Oh, I agree with that.
They are getting more time out of me
At home.
at when I'm working from home.
Absolutely.
So the last two things that were on here were work-life balance
Hmm.
and reducing stress, meaning the stress you have commuting to and from work,
Oh, I could see that. That's a big stress for somebody like me.
the stress you have listening to office politics.
Oh, yeah.
And some people have stress of socialization.
Yes. And it all ties, like, I think it all ties into going back to 5.5 years ago, is we
Right,
got so used to being isolated. And
right,
the socialization is a pro and a con, right? So if it causes me anxiety, oh, I'm lucky I could stay home and I don't have to go to work. But
right.
is it making it me worse? You know?
I don't think it's a good thing. I don't think that's the fix for it to allow you to work from home all the time. I don't think that's
Yeah,
the best fix for people.
I agree.
Um, I think people need that socialization. So yeah, it does reduce the stress for those people who can't manage it on an anxiety level because there are people out there who can't, and COVID enhanced that for people.
Well, and I have to say that I'm very fortunate that the company that I work for, they, like I said, they're a work from home company. They make an effort. We all meet every single day.
Yes. And that I think that's important. That's something that my team does. We
So
meet
important.
every single day on camera. I'm going to talk about the disadvantages
Okay.
of working from home. So the disadvantages from working from home is the very first thing that came up was career visibility.
That's interesting.
If you're that kind of person that stays in a company and you want to move up, I think it's important to get your face out there and for people to see you.
I agree.
The second thing was blurred lines between work life balance. You either spend too much time working from home or you're doing too much personal
And I
and
could,
not enough work.
I don't like to get up and take a break. I'll go outside for a couple minutes and, maybe play with the dogs just to step
Right.
away from the computer.
To me, that's the equivalent of you going to the water cooler or the coffee machine or wherever
Right.
and running into three people and talking for 5 minutes to an hour. That's just my opinion on it. The third thing was isolation.
That's a big one.
Isn't it an advantage if you have anxiety of being in a social situation that you
Right.
can work from home, or is it a disadvantage because you are isolating yourself and not interacting with people?
I agree. I would have to say, as a person who strictly works from home, and I love working from home, but the isolation does get to be a lot sometimes, especially
Right,
if Hugo's traveling. I can go a whole solid work week and sometimes more without even leaving my house.
right,
So you think about that, and it's kind of crazy. That's a lot. And
right.
and I do get to the point where I'm like, "Okay, you need to go out or something. Like, you need to just go out where there's people. Just go just sit there and people watch somewhere.
I need to see other life.
I need human contact." No, I don't. Yes, you do. It's like this constant fight because then I'll go to the store and they'll
Right.
be crowded, and I just can't even get out of there fast enough to get back to the peace and quiet. So
Right.
it's
And I think there are people who grew up like Abby, your daughter. She went through COVID at a time in her life when it was probably difficult in school. And go ahead.
we were just talking, Hugo and I were just talking about this very topic with Michelle this morning, about how Abby's affected like her generation from COVID, from that isolation.
Yeah, so they probably are going to argue, no, I can work from home because I have a social life after and I go out with my friends. They're the friends you made when you were in school socializing or
Right.
when you were out. In Abby's case, I'm just going to use karate as an example.
Right.
Abby met her friends at a lot of her friends at karate.
You
I'm
know,
not
her
saying she
core
didn't
group.
make, yeah, her core group of friends was from karate. Now that's not school, but she had friends at school too.
Yes.
She wasn't meeting friends online necessarily. Some people do. But I do think that isolation is a big problem for that generation
I
in that
agree.
sense. We grew up going to work every day. I
Hmm.
think it's important to go to work every day for a lot of reasons. But we'll get into that with the RTO pros and cons.
All right. I can't wait to hear them.
Okay. So the RTO pros and cons, I'm going to go over the pros first. So the first advantage or pro for returning to the office is visibility and advancement. That's other people getting to see what you can do.
Or even know your name. Well, and sometimes you can work for in a large company, you can work for somebody, you could be 3 levels down from them. And they might know your name, but they don't necessarily know who you are. But when you're in a
Right.
closer setting, you usually get people that are in higher positions. They kind of start to learn who you are by
Right.
face. They'll say
Right.
goodbye. They'll say goodnight when they're walking, by. Um, I don't know why you're laughing. Are you laughing
Because
for special reason? I don't
uh,
understand. You
so the visibility can work to your disadvantage
and
sometimes.
explain. I cannot wait to hear. Do you want me to explain? Do you want to explain?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you were talking about, and I was wondering if you were going to pick up on what I was talking about. And the second you started
I
laughing, I
did. I
knew.
did. I did. So I'll tell it,
All right.
and then you can verify that I am this awkward in life, not just at work. God,
Let me just add that this awkward moment, I forgot what I was going to say. I got so distracted. I got so distracted by looking like, hey, um, I really forgot what I was going to say.
I was
Oh, I know
saying
what I was
that.
saying. I
Okay.
remember that this awkward moment is definitely in the pro list for a great friend like myself to witness, and the con list for Karen going through it. Go.
So, that's so true. So I am awkward everywhere at work in life. And I happened to be walking through the hallway in the office, and there was a gentleman that was walking towards me who we thought was dreamy. I'm not going to say who he was, but we thought he was dreamy. Other than that, that was it. We just thought he was dreamy.
But I'm pretty confident at that time we indirectly worked for him.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
So he was at a higher level, and I didn't really speak to him that much. It was just a hi, goodbye type of thing. But he was dreamy, and it made me awkward.
And he was very
If
sweet. He's a
he was a
really sweet
nice
guy.
guy, nice guy, but add a nice guy to dreaminess, and I'm like, I don't know how to act. So I see him walking towards me, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, Karen, he's
He's
going to
so
say,
dreamy. That's what you're thinking.
I was. And I was being very conscious of not having my hands on my chest because I tend to do that often because I'm nervous. And I was concentrating on what I was going to say to him because he was going to say, "Hi, how are you?" When people walk by you. People say, "Hi, how are you?"
But it was the end of the day.
It was the end of the day, but still, I thought he was going to say, "Hi,
That's
how are you?"
that's fair. That's fair. So you were mentally preparing
So I was
yourself.
mentally preparing my awkward self for McDreamy walking by, what I was going to say to him. So we go to pass, and he says, "Go
I'm
ahead."
pretty confident I was there for this too.
I don't think you were.
No, not this one? Okay, go
No,
ahead.
I was by myself. I called
Okay.
you because I was mortified.
Oh, okay, go ahead. It must be
Yeah.
another time.
So he's coming towards me, and I'm playing in my head how I'm going to respond to him. Keep it simple, Karen. Don't say too much. Don't say, don't be awkward, Karen.
Don't yell,
Don't yell,
indoor
nothing.
voice, all
Right.
those things. Check,
So
check.
I'm prepared. He's going to come by and say, "Hi, how you doing?" So he comes by and he goes, "Have a good weekend." And I go, "Good." Who says good?
And I think because I know you well enough, and when you were telling me the story, you had your velociraptor. Oh, I just knocked my thing over. Sorry. You had velociraptor hands going. You were like, good, good.
I remember saying, "Don't put your hands on your chest."
That is a big concern
That is a big thing for me
because
because I constantly put my hands on my chest,
and I
and I
think
don't know why.
that's what happened another time when that same person walked by, and that was where I was. And you also
Yes.
and you had this, but you said something. I don't remember what you said, but it had nothing to do with what he asked. And I'm pretty confident he laughed as he walked by because it's just so bad. You would turn purple.
Well, because I stroked my chest.
I know
I
I was
didn't
there.
just put my hands on it. I actually
I
stroked my
I know.
chest.
I know. I
And
know.
it's so awkward. Like, why did I do that? Why did I say good? And he just kept walking, and
I
I was like, he
I
thinks I'm
have
stupid.
no, I have to give you the good because I understand that. Like I feel that that's normal. I feel that I would do the same thing, like mentally prepare. I'm gonna pray. He's gonna ask me how I am. I'm gonna be ready to
Right.
so I sound smooth and I don't sound awkward.
I was set.
He threw you off.
Yeah, so I said good, and as soon as it came out, I knew it was wrong, and then I was just like,
That's it. Velociraptor.
that's how I felt like I looked.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's really how I
You
looked, but
know,
I felt
I
like
don't
that's how
know.
I looked.
It's
I,
really
I mean, it's
possible you did.
possible.
Let's be
It's
real.
possible. Yeah.
But
So yeah, you don't want that kind of visibility at work was my whole point.
right.
And I did stupid shit like that a lot. But that's also a pro for somebody like you.
It
It's a
really
pro for
is.
returning to the office.
It really
That's the
is.
reason why you keep me around.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
you know. So the second thing that's on here for a pro for returning to office is collaboration. That's a business pro, but it's also an individual pro because people will tend to help you more if you're face
Face
to
to
face.
face.
So the third thing was a clear separation of work life balance.
Mhm.
It's a pro for returning to office. If you are in a job role that you can leave it at the office.
Absolutely, because there's plenty. Like,
There's job roles I've been under that I couldn't leave it at the office. I was still
right,
working when I went home.
24/7,
Or
365 on call.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Not every day, but it did happen.
Right.
So there is a work life balance clear for those who don't have to do those things at home.
Mhm.
For those that do have to do those things at home, I don't know if that's necessarily a pro for them.
Right.
The fourth one ties into the third one of that clear separation of work life, and that's a structured life. So you get up at 8 o'clock in the morning, you're in by 9 o'clock, you're leaving at 5 o'clock, you're home by 6 or whatever it is.
But
You're
yeah,
very structured in that. That can get lost when you're working from
it
home
does
because
get lost.
It does.
It does. Sometimes
And
it's 4:30, sometimes it's 6 o'clock, sometimes I get up, I go have dinner, do laundry. I'm like, "Oh, let me see if that email from so and so," and I sit down and another hour's gone by and I'm still working. So,
yeah,
there's not a clear break.
the last one for the pro for returning to office was socialization.
Mm, that's a big one. I can see
So
that.
that's what I was talking about earlier. It's mental stimulation to be interactive with other people. You get to know other coworkers,
Yeah,
even though they're not on your team. They still work. You still work for the same place, and you might need their help
right.
at some point in
True.
time. Maybe you don't, but maybe you get to know that person a little bit better, and maybe you do need to work with that person down the line.
And from a work from home perspective, I can tell you that you do quickly, or at least I felt I did, get into the habit of learning how to pick up the phone and call people to,
Right,
like sometimes one of my coworkers or I will call one of my coworkers just to say, "Hey, how you doing? How was your weekend?"
right,
Just
right,
but you have to make the effort when you work from home. That's the
right.
difference.
And I do think that I could attest to the fact that you can also make friends without going in the office. None of my team is in my
Right.
office. We're scattered all over the world. And I became really good friends with some people on my team
And
all over the world
I was just going to say, and all over the world. Yep.
because of an indirect remote
Right.
team.
Right.
And video conferencing made that a little bit easier.
Right. The make it
Uh,
that change started the change.
I do think that's important to have the video. You get to see the person. You're not just behind a little square on the screen with your initials
I'm
or
okay
a
with that.
picture. You're okay with the picture? With just being
100%.
behind the
Thank
initial?
heavens.
I think it's important to be on camera.
I
If you're
do
not going to
not.
be in the office, I think it's important to, you know what it is? I feel like you can tell somebody's listening, for one. How do I know that you just didn't go to the bathroom and just walked away? I don't know because I can't see you. I think it's better for your mental health as well to get dressed in the morning. You don't have to put on the makeup and everything, but
I
you,
usually
you
do. There are some days, and I will honestly tell you, and I'm not being funny when I say this, I am so busy that I look up and it's 12:30, which is when my lunch break is on my calendar for, and it pops up and it'll say, give me a reminder in 15 minutes. And I'm like, oh my God, it's almost lunch and I haven't eaten breakfast or gotten out of my pajamas yet.
well, and
That
that's
happens to me a lot because I'm not getting dressed for my 7:30 meeting every morning.
and that's the pro to working from home. You
Right.
don't have to worry about getting ready in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
You can just hop on the computer at 7 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock when you would normally get in.
Right.
And then they're getting the benefit of you still being there until 5 o'clock when you should have left at 4 or
Exactly.
whatever.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. I mean, I agree with your point. I'm not saying it's healthy to sit there in my pajamas half the day, but it does happen.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I literally don't have time to get dressed.
right. So, socialization was a pro for returning to office. Was the last one. For um, the cons of returning to office, the number one thing was the commute
Mm,
and the cost of the commute, not just the time, but the gas, the wear and tear on the car,
the
all that
lunches, the
stuff, the
clothes,
lunches, the clothes,
even,
because you can't wear your pajamas.
but let me tell you something else. Something as simple as even getting your hair done regularly.
Oh
I
yeah,
do not go out to the office, so I don't get my hair done as often as I used to. So I'm
right.
saving money
Another
there.
expense.
'Cause
Right, another
it's
expense.
another expense, and I know that
Right.
it sounds silly because I don't have to get my hair done, but I'm not going to not I'm not gonna I have to get my hair done. That's all. To go to an office setting every day, I would
Right.
have my hair colored and whatever,
Well, then maybe
highlighted.
that's a good thing because
Yeah,
you feel better. Don't you feel better about yourself when you do that?
I'm very happy with the extra money in my pocket.
Yeah, but doesn't it make you feel better when you get your hair done?
You know what? I've actually gotten okay. I'm very
Okay,
overdue
I'm
it.
going to stop you because there's a huge difference between your gray hair and my gray hair because you're a blonde and I'm a brunette.
That's fair. That is fair. But I will
Right.
tell you, as much as it doesn't bother me, I made sure to get an appointment to get my highlights done before I go on my business trip soon.
Right.
Because
And it's going to make you feel good about
of
yourself, is my
course it
point.
is. I'm gonna
So we
be
do,
walking around like my poop don't stink, but I save a lot of money a year.
right. But it's better for your mental health. You feel good about yourself, for a little while because the gray is gone.
Yeah.
If you're that person that the gray bothers you, the gray bothers me.
I'm getting better with it, believe it or not.
Yeah, because
As
you're a blonde. Because
no,
you're a blonde. Because
no,
you're a
okay,
blonde.
I don't want to hear it because everybody with the I don't see it. You're blonde. You're lucky. Let me tell you something. It's there and it's just right in here. And I have it covered right now with the outside hair.
How did we get here? I don't even remember how the hell we got to gray hair. What the hell
Well,
were
we
we
were talking
talking
about
about?
returning to office.
Oh, it was a cost.
Oh, cost efficient.
Cost to do the hair.
Right.
Yeah, and
Cost.
I turned it on you because I think you should do the hair thing.
All right.
I think it's good for you. Whatever. That's not a cost you can add to the con.
Okay.
The second con to returning to office is a reduced flexibility of managing your home life and your work life. So it's easier if you're working from home for you to run home, pick up your kid,
Right,
come
right,
back
right.
home,
Yes. Got to run to the up the street to the bus stop, grab my kid. 2
2 minutes.
seconds.
Can't do that from the office. So
No.
you can manage that home life. You don't have to pay somebody to go get your kid,
Right. Or pay for
which goes with the
aftercare,
cost. Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. So it reduces the flexibility of that when you have to be in 5 days a week.
Right. And some companies, I know that a friend of mine's company, they allow you, in addition to like your PTO, they allow you one work from home week a year.
Oh, okay.
And you can use that whenever you want. So you want to
Right.
travel to go spend a week with whomever in California, doesn't bother me. You can work there. So that's
Right.
also a nice option. Like the flexibility is nice when
And
companies
then,
offer
and
that.
yeah, and some of it's at a manager level. You can
Right.
you can be flexible. Nobody needs to know anybody's business, and nobody should be asking, why is Sally working from home today?
Right.
Well, you don't know what's going on. There
Right.
may be a very good reason why she's working from home.
Like
I'm a big worry about yourself person.
yep.
Um, the third con for returning to office is the distractions in the office. The
Oh,
going to the water cooler. There have been times I'm like, oh, I got to go to the bathroom, but I don't have time because I have a meeting
wait.
in 5 minutes.
How about this one? How about, because I know this happens, because it used to happen to me, I worked in the office all the time. Why are you on speakerphone in an office on a meeting?
Oh, that annoys me. You gotta have office etiquette.
You have to have office etiquette. You are not the only one in there. There are other
Yeah,
people around. And somebody like me, sometimes I can tune it out and focus. And
right.
sometimes I just can't for whatever reason. It's like a sensory thing that all I can do is I hone in on that because
Well, the other
the
problem
sound annoys me.
well, the other problem with that is that you don't know who the other person on the other side of your cubicle is on the phone with.
Well, there's that.
And I don't want somebody I'm on the phone with picking up what that person. Now I know there's noise cancellation and you got all that stuff in place, but it doesn't always work.
It doesn't.
So you can hear the stuff that's going on around you and it's a huge distraction. So some people don't have get a headset.
Right? I don't like headsets. My head's too precious. Come
Yeah.
on, figure it
Yeah.
out.
I mean, the office distractions are enormous sometimes.
They
Who's
really are.
loud? I'm a loud talker. I know people hate me.
Really?
I had somebody one time complain that I laughed too much.
Too loud, I thought.
Too much and too loud.
Well, I appreciate a good belly laugh. And you know that the one thing I say about you when you laugh is you make everybody around you happy when you laugh because you have such a great laugh.
Yeah, yeah,
But I
I
could,
was spoken to about it. I
yeah.
was told I needed to stop laughing.
No laugh for you.
And I know a large part of it has to do because I have a loud voice. I am very loud to begin with, and I can't help that. Um, I try though. Like the people who have the speaker phones on, you're just being
That's
very ignorant over it. You're not, or maybe you don't have a headset. I don't know what the situation is, but you got to be
well,
respectful of the other people around you.
I'm gonna tell you that, I kind of feel bad about the whole speaker thing because Hugo's a big speakerphone person, and in his case, because he has a bald head and he has a fairly oh, I'm stuck. Oh boy.
What are you stuck on?
Somehow got stuck on this.
God, this looks like something I would do.
No, yeah, and the problem is I don't have my glasses anywhere near me, so I can't see. Oh, I got it. Okay, I'm good.
Dear God.
Um, what was I saying?
Something about Hugo.
Oh, he has a big head. No, that's not what I meant.
He had a bald head.
Okay. I understand sometimes with the headset thing because Hugo has a bald head and it's tight, like it's right on his skin.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I have a hat on, is because this headset pulls my hair out.
I still don't understand how it does that. I don't have that problem, but I don't want to
I'm
fuss with it.
very
It'll make
precious. It
You
pulls
are
my hair out.
precious. You are very
So
precious.
my point is I can understand his point, that it probably bothers his
Yeah.
bald head. He doesn't have any hair protecting it.
It would leave like an indent when he would wear it at the office. It would leave an indent in his head.
Well, whether he had hair or not, it would probably do that.
We just wouldn't
He has
see
a
it.
giant head.
He does. I mean, it's proportionate to the rest of his body.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a small dude.
No, he's
You know what
not.
I mean? What is he, 6 foot or something? I
He's
don't even
six
know how
foot,
tall.
and he's big. Like he's very proportionate, but he has
Yeah.
like Nick and I were talking about it. I didn't mean to hit that. Nick and I were talking about it the other day that he has no idea how strong his big hands are. Like he has these big, I think of his hands as like, the Hulk gloves.
Oh, yeah.
That's Hugo's hand.
Oh,
Cause,
so
and
he's like Lenny from Of Mice and Men. If he
yeah,
grabs
and he does,
something too hard.
and he's just like that because he has no idea his strength, truly.
Right, right.
And, he'll like smack me on my leg sometimes, like, in a cute way. And I'm like, dude, that hurt. Or
Yeah.
sometimes he'll like put his hand on poor little Messi. And I'm afraid he's going to like, crack him in half because he has such a big hand and Messi's so tiny.
Is it his big hand, or is it he just doesn't realize his strength?
Yes,
Or that's
both.
what it is?
Both.
Like Chris will lay his leg on the dog,
Oh, and it's heavy.
and I'm like, I don't think she likes that.
Well, it's heavy. A leg is
Yeah.
heavy.
And it hurts.
Yeah.
She's only 40 pounds, and he's just like, oh, she don't mind. I'm like, yeah, I think she does.
Do you see her climbing
She's
out from
like
under you?
squirming out and
Yeah.
squeezing out, and she comes and lays by me because I'm not going to do that.
Right.
I just did the third one, right?
Yeah.
And the fourth con for returning to the office kind of ties in with number one. It's higher expenses. So it kind of
Mm-hmm.
ties in with
Mm-hmm.
number one, where you're going to be dining more, the wardrobe, the child care, the
Right.
child pickup, all that stuff.
The gas back and forth.
So do I agree with the return to office full time? I kind of do. That's where I met a lot of my friends and stuff like that. You can advance your career by getting to know other people, but I think that we need to have that balance of working from home, because it's a little hectic when you have
Yeah.
things in your personal life that you just can't schedule
Yes.
around the 9
Dentist
to
or
5.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm only going to be away for 15 minutes.
And sometimes you're not. Sometimes, you're an hour and a half, but
Right.
it's still, it all evens out is how I always see it.
A good example of mine is a good example that I have is I had to go and get blood work done, and where I was going was around the corner from my house, but the office was 30 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
So can I just start my morning at home,
Right.
drive 5 minutes to get the blood work done, and then I'll go to the office.
Right.
I don't mind that. or I can just go home and get back to work faster.
Exactly.
Like which one is
Is
beneficial?
more efficient.
I feel it's more efficient if you would just let me go back home that day,
Right. Exactly.
because I've missed a half hour because I was getting done whatever I got done. Can you just give me, and my company is pretty cool with things like that, so I
Mhm.
appreciate that. Do Are all the companies going to do that? I don't know if they're going to do that. These are just the reasons why I pulled off of online. I think there's a lot of other benefits to going back into the office and also having the flexibility to work from home. And there's things that I did miss about being in the office. Is there anything you miss being working from home, a permanent work from home?
Well, one of the things that's really big for me is the drive in and the drive home. So
Oh, you
I
miss it.
I do. I never had a big commute, as you know, but it
Right.
was 25, 30 minutes. And
I enjoy my commute.
it was my time in the morning because that's the difference, right? I get up in the morning, I take care of the dogs, I make my coffee, I sit down, I'm working.
Right.
Before I would get up, I'd take care of the dogs, I'd get ready for work, I'd grab my coffee, I'd drive into work, and then coming home, I love just as much most days.
The decompression.
The decompression, because I love listening to music when I drive and I love the scenery or whatever the case was. I enjoy driving, so it was kind of like my time
Right.
to chill. So I that is something that I didn't think I would miss, especially because I don't drive that much anymore and I kind of like not driving anymore. But I do still miss that time that I allowed myself. Now I could easily fix it to an extent and get up earlier and do something in its place,
Right.
but I don't have to, so I don't. You know what I mean?
I also enjoy the ride, and you know me very well. I like the sunrise and the sunset as I'm going, and because of where I live, I am driving east in the morning, so I get to see the sun. Listen, it blinds you. I'm not gonna lie. I'm
Yeah.
like, is that the road up there?
You only
I
have
think
black
that's the road.
dots. Is that a
Yeah.
car? Is that a what is that?
Should I stick my head out the window? And then on the ride home, I'm getting the sunset in the
Right.
background, which is because I'm
Blinding from
going west now.
behind.
Well, no, I'm going west now. So the
Oh,
sunset is in front
right.
of me at certain points because I am kind of southwest. But I do get the blinding of the sunset sometimes, but it's beautiful.
It's so pretty.
And I don't know if everybody appreciates
Those
when,
moments.
yeah, those moments. I remember before you left Jersey, you were going through a hard time with your dad. You had to drive back and forth to see him, and he was kind of far, and he was sick, and you were going back and forth, and you took the time to pull over and take a picture of a fucking tree
I
for
do.
me.
I know that tree. I could see it. I know exactly the tree that it is.
Because those are the things that I love when I'm driving around wherever it is. And you get that every day driving to and from work.
And if you remember, I had to show you that tree for yourself.
Oh, we had to go on the ride then.
Yes, we had to go on
Yeah.
the ride because you like trees, and
Yes.
it was one that I wanted you to see.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right though. That's the stuff that you miss when you're
Yeah. Yeah. I
when
think
your
there's a lot.
commute is going from your bedroom to your to your desk chair.
Right. And other people will argue, well, that's less time I have to work and the gas and the expense. And I'm talking just about the mental side of it,
Right.
that decompression of going into work.
Mhm.
Because if you have kids and you're the animals and the husband or the wife at
It was my
home, and
quiet time.
and I had a coworker that came back to work from being on maternity leave, paternity leave. Is that when the buckeye goes out? Is it paternity?
Paternity.
Paternity, and the girl is
Ma.
maternity. So paternity. He's a work from home. Certain regions are allowed to work from home as long as they want, and he was working from home and he had his baby on camera and it was so cute, whatever. And I forgot where I was going with this.
I'll be over here if you remember.
What the fuck were we talking about right before this?
You were talking about fucking paternity leave and maternity leave, talking about having that ride into work. That was my thing that I
Oh,
missed.
I know where I was going. And he is going into office a couple days a week. just not the full time
Right, right.
because he's not required. But he looks forward to the days that he goes in the office because he gets away from that. And that
Yeah.
sounds bad.
No,
That's
but
not a
sometimes you need a
bad thing.
break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. Don't make it sound like such a negative. It's a
Right.
good thing.
I
Do you know
agree.
what I mean?
So before we get to the final question of the day, what do you think we have a little rapid fire BFF office edition?
Oh, we could do that. Okay, so do you have your handy dandy paper
Got it.
with what to answer?
Ready to
Okay,
go.
I got the questions.
You're upside
Okay.
down. You're upside down.
Oh, I am. Oh, gosh.
All right.
Okay. I think I
We're
got it.
ready.
Ready?
Ready.
What are we doing? Oh, we're doing rapid
Rapid
fire.
fire.
Rapid fire off BFF Office Edition.
That's right.
First question. Who would show up early on purpose to work? Me. I show up everywhere 15 minutes early.
At least.
Except the problem is I'm married to a Filipino now,
He
and
does not show up early.
Filipinos are known to show up late
They're like
to everything.
they're like my entire Spanish family. Through my
Yes.
husband. They are all always late.
Sometimes when we go to his sister's house, she'll call and she'll say, "Hey, Chris, how far are you?" And he'll be like, "Oh, we're only like 5 minutes." I'm like, "Dude, we didn't even get on the fucking turnpike yet."
So they're
And what
late and they adjust the time by
yeah, so
I
I'm
see.
like yelling to Liz in the background. We're like another half hour away because like they're waiting to have dinner or something
Right.
or whatever the case is. And, we'll hang up and he's like, "What are you talking about? We're only 5 minutes away." I'm like, "Dude, we're just getting on the turnpike. We got at
No,
least 30 minutes
no
in."
concept of time. I have to tell you that with Hugo and Abby, they're always late. Now, I might be the last one out of the house, but that's because I have that time in there for me. I'm the last one out of the house because I have to make sure the dogs are okay. I check the doors
Oh,
are
me
locked.
too.
Okay.
Yes.
So they get mad at me because they're waiting for me. But what they forget is they told me at some point in time, well, if you don't like us being late, tell us the times earlier. So I started doing that. And then I got, is that real time or is that not real time? And I'm like, it's real time. It has to be real time because if I tell you that it's not real time, then you're going to be later.
You're going to fuck it up.
Right. And that causes
Yes.
me anxiety. Not
Yes.
necessary. Be on time. Period.
Right.
Go ahead.
So is it a man thing, you think?
No.
No?
Not if I had to.
Oh, no, because Abby is bad.
Abby's pretty bad.
Abby's really bad.
And I am happy that you got to experience it so that I am not the bad guy here.
I would have never believed you because she's an angel in my eyes.
I know. She does nothing wrong.
She came to stay with me for part of her summer break last year, and she was getting ready to go somewhere with her friends. And we're doing whatever, and she's doing her hair, she's doing her makeup, she's doing her thing. This kid does more things than I've ever seen a woman do in their life. Okay.
But she doesn't even wear a lot of makeup. She's not like from a dress, like she's not overly fancy. She's
more like me, but she likes fancy things. She likes name brand things, but she's more like me. She doesn't care about putting all this makeup on and doing foo-foo hair things unless she's going somewhere.
Right.
So she's very much like me, but she's got this whole routine. So she's getting ready, and I just happen to be walking past my front window, and I look out there, and I go, "Oh, Abby," I said, "I think your friend is here." She's like, "Yeah, I know. She's been here." I was like, "Oh, does she want to come inside?" She's like, "No, it's okay." Well, it's like another half hour.
And her friend's sitting there waiting for her that whole time.
Because she told her friend, "I'll get ready and I'll be ready by the time you get here," or whatever. Like she was going to be ready in 5 minutes.
Right. But it was not 5 minutes.
It was like 3 hours.
Yeah, I know. No.
So yeah, no, it's not just men. It's women. I guess it's just a personality thing.
I agree.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Right? How did we get here?
We were playing Rapid Fire BFF.
Oh shit, that was only the first question. That was the first
question.
So sorry. I went, okay, second question. Make sure I still have my paper. Who would bring the best snacks? Oh, yeah, it's you.
Yeah. I'm always prepared with food. I don't
You're
mess
always
around.
prepared.
I do not
No.
mess around when it comes to eating. I always want to have a snack. I want to make sure that everybody around me has a snack. God forbid somebody's blood sugar should drop. I'm pulling a bar out. I got something nuts. Something's going on. Carry on.
Who would hit reply all by mistake? You think you would?
1,000%. I
Oh.
mean, listen, if you want to go back, definitely you.
My biggest mistake, it was a reply all, but it was supposed to be. I replied to all, and back in the day we didn't have the right tools to manage things that were coming into us to handle. So we would just use email to say, I'm handling this,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. Well, I was kind of new to the team, and I replied to all. I was very excited that I was going to get to tell
Your
everybody
first
that
thing.
I was able to, because I was in tech support now,
Right.
and I was going to be able to handle this request. And I hit reply all, and I was just going to write, got it. That's all, because that's what you did. I
Oh,
got it.
no.
I have this. I wrote go tit with an exclamation point because I wanted everybody to know I got it. And I sent it, and it was a reply all intentionally
Right, right.
by this manner. But I replied all, and then as I'm going through it, I went back to my email, and I'm getting all these emails. I'm like, oh, maybe everybody else looks like they want this. And I start opening the emails, and everybody's like, ha ha ha
Because
ha.
you worked with such a bunch. We were all
We
like
were all
sarcastic. We were
clowns.
all clowns.
We
All
did the work,
clowns.
but we were all clowns. And I'm like,
Yes.
what
We
the
had
fuck
fun.
is, yeah. And I was like, what the fuck
Goated.
was everybody laughing at?
Mm.
I was so fucking embarrassed because everybody's like, yeah, and oh, and
Goated.
haha. And I'm like,
And back
what?
then, you could say goat tit to each other.
Yeah. I did. I will say that I did partially think that everybody was celebrating that I was doing it because, well, some were because they
Were
were
you
ha-has
expecting
and
balloons
yeah.
and
Well, no,
confetti to
because
come out from the sky? Because we were celebrating you?
well, I didn't know why they were saying yeah. Like the ha-has, I was scratching my head, and then the
Oh.
yeahs were coming in, and I was like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, they're excited that I'm finally doing my job. And then a friend came to me. You weren't friends with me at that time. We
No,
weren't friends at that time, no.
but we worked in
And
the same department at
we
that
worked
point.
in the same department, and somebody who was friendly with me was like, dude, what the fuck did you do? And I was like, what? They were like, you should check that email you sent. And I
Oh.
was total heat, hot, sweat, everything came over my body
Yeah, that's a tough
at
one.
that moment.
That's a
Yeah,
tough
that was
one.
a hard one. That was a reply all intentionally, but
Right, right.
um next question. Who would avoid drama like it's contagious?
I'm having a tough time. I'm like the names are here. Here's the thing. I have a hard time
This
with.
is me, Karen.
Mhm.
Yours will say her, right? That would be
Here's the
me.
thing. Here's the thing. I think that both of us like to avoid drama in that we don't want to be a part of the drama. I don't ever want to be in the drama. I
No.
don't want to cause anybody any sort of upset or anxiety. However, if something big's going on, I want the deets.
I guess so. Yeah,
I want
I
the
mean,
deets. I'm sorry. I want the
you'd be
details.
anybody would be lying if they said that they don't like some kind of drama.
But I don't want to be it. That's not fun.
I don't want to be the
I
gossip
don't want to be
either.
in the
And I
drama.
think that's what I meant by putting both of us. We don't want to be a part of
No,
the
not
drama.
at all.
So let me ask you the last question of the
Okay.
day. Uh, who do you think the return to office is actually for? Is it for the business or is it for the employee?
Ooh, I would say that it's more beneficial from a money standpoint and a collaboration standpoint to the business. But I also do think it is for the employee. The employees just don't realize it. I don't think necessarily in all cases. Like you welcome being able to go into the office. You like to change the scenery. You don't want to be distracted and of course the isolation part. So I could see where it benefits both in different ways.
I agree with that. I think it benefits the company. They're paying rent
Yeah,
for an office, and if you're not
not
going, what are they
there.
paying for?
Right.
You know, it pays for them to have the collaboration. I just don't think it has to be 5 days. That's just my opinion.
Right. On that note, thanks for joining us this week, and join us again next time to see if we remember what the fuck we were talking about.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.